sell me this watch?
Okay. I mean, what's got you like looking to buy a new watch?
How much of sales is skill and how much of it is just energy?
I would say probably 60 energy, 40 skill. Because I've had times where I've had all the tactics, I've known everything, but my state was completely off and I dropped the sale.
How do you prevent buyer's remorse as a closer?
So there's two main things. One, it has to be their decision to buy. So it's kind of like what we talked about before. Like throughout the whole call, all of your questions should have them realize that they want to get help.
Would you say sales is a skill that everyone should learn?
I think everyone could benefit from it. Do I think everyone should learn it?
In your experience, have you sold B2B or B2C?
B2B gets thrown around a lot. What's your definition of B2B?
Hey guys, I have a very special guest today. His name is Orlando and he's 23 years old from Australia. If you want to be a master at sales, this is the podcast to watch. Without further ado, let's get into it. Hey Orlando, welcome to the podcast.
Good to be here.
So the very first question, I think nothing beats this one.
Okay.
I want you to sell me this watch.
Okay. I mean, what's got you like looking to buy a new watch?
Yeah, I've never bought like a luxury watch in my life.
Okay.
So I was thinking of getting one, but I don't know whether it's worth the price or
Yeah.
I see all these rich people around me, they have a watch.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether I should get one as well.
Well, when you see all those rich people with a watch, like what gives you the feeling like you should have one as well though?
Yeah, I feel like it's a very good conversation starter. I see people like when they talk to, hey, what watch do you have? And then I'm like down there with nothing on my wrist.
Right.
I feel like I don't have any, status in that sense.
Yeah, okay. What is it about like having status that's important to you though?
I feel like it's just a way to get the conversation started with like a rich person.
Yeah.
And all these high net worth individuals, they will see me with more status and then maybe open more conversations.
Yeah. I mean, if they saw you with more status, a nice watch, do you feel like that could lead to maybe more business deals that will help you make more money in return?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
I mean, because what happens if you go to one of these guys and they look at your wrist and they see something that's like, not luxury? Like, how do you feel like they'd perceive you?
A little bit less. They would probably think
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe this guy doesn't have money, or maybe he doesn't take into like account of where he looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, luxury watches aren't for everyone, right? But if you want to have that status and you want to talk to successful people like that and have them have that perception of you, then it might be what you're looking for. I mean, what is it about like blue that stands out to you?
Well, that's actually my favorite color.
Oh,
So blue is my favorite color.
Okay.
And it looks way better than black in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's something different, right?
Do you want to try it on? See what it looks like?
Oh yeah, of course, man. That's good.
I mean, how do you think people would perceive you if they saw that on your wrist?
I'm the fucking top G. That's what it is.
When do you want to be the top G?
As soon as possible, bro.
Let's do it then.
Sold.
That was actually on the spot. I actually had no idea I was going to start with that.
That's pretty cool. Okay, so now it's back on my wrist. Very good.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see how you handled it, and you
Yeah.
handled it pretty well.
Do you want me to break it down, how I did it?
Yeah, of course, man.
So the first thing is, instead of focusing on how good the watch is, I started with questions. Like, what's got you looking into a watch? If he goes, oh, I'm not looking for a watch. Okay, I'm not going to sell you a watch then.
Yep.
Right? You told me all the reasons you're looking for a watch. And then I made it an identity sell. So it was, okay, what type of guy do you want to be when you go to these events? And then I attached that to an ROI, right? Because you do business. If you meet someone successful, they perceive you a certain way, boom, that's another deal. So then the logic is there. Then it's the emotion with the identity. And then it's, you see it, you feel it. You're like, I want to be the top G.
Yeah.
When do you want to do that? Now? Boom. That's
Yeah,
everything you need.
That's good. So I noticed something that I always do as well is you ask for questions.
Yeah.
Right? To figure out what the person's like, what he identifies the watch with, right? And why he even wants a watch in the first place. The reason I ask you that also is because, sell me this pen, right?
Yeah.
So I always had a problem with that because the first question I will ask you is, are you in the market to buy a pen? Are you even looking for a pen? Would you say that is the most important part? Could you sell a pen to someone that doesn't even want a pen?
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't try to, no.
Yeah.
I think you're on the right frame of thinking. I would maybe make it slightly different and just start with what's got you looking into a watch or what's got you looking into a pen. Like, it's a little bit assumptive to assume that they're looking in the first place. But if they say, oh, I'm not looking, okay, cool. I'm not going to convince you to do something you don't want.
Yeah. I want to know how you got into like this whole sales space. You're 23, right?
Yeah.
So what was it like before getting into this space? Like what are you doing?
I was working at McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
a lot of people, they might have worked like a corporate 9 to 5 and they learn they don't like that and then they want to get into sales. For me, I was at university and I was studying something I wasn't interested in,
Which is?
construction management.
Okay.
Yeah, I had no interest, but my whole family, my friends, what are you going to do when you finish school?
Yeah.
I guess I'll do that. So I did that. COVID hit about 4 weeks in. And then I was like, okay, I want to do something online. I saw my first mentor, Jason Capital. He posted a lot of content about like typing messages on social media.
Jason, it's OG, man. How
Yeah.
long ago was this when you
5
met?
years ago in
Okay,
2020.
is he still doing mentorships?
I don't know. He's a lot more low key now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me continue.
So I joined his program for $1,000, which at the time I was still shitting myself about. But I did that, and then I just inadvertently ended up selling. So that's how I got into
Was his
it.
mentorship like specifically for closing?
So it was DM setting.
Oh, DM setter.
Yeah, so
okay.
it taught you to become a DM
Yeah.
setter. But then I ended up selling for an Instagram agency, and that was how I first started actually selling over the phone. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So would you say there's a difference between a setter and a closer?
Yeah,
Yeah, right. It's a big difference.
100%.
Yeah. So what was like the main shift that you had to do from a setter to a closer in order to, become a good salesperson?
Well, setting, at least on the DMs, like it's chat, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of talk like a 12-year-old girl. Like you send a bunch of message, lowercase, like you make it very casual. When you're on a call, there's so many more elements because typing, you can take as long as you want to send the message. You can read it, you can think about it. When you're talking to someone, it's quick. Like you've got to listen, you've got to pay attention, you've got to ask good questions. The first sales call I went on, I just tried to be their best friend. Like I
That's
just
the
tried to be
worst thing
nice.
to do.
Yeah.
I did the same mistake.
Yeah.
Built too much rapport and then it's gone. right?
Exactly.
So
yeah.
what would you say you were talented at selling, or was that something you learned?
No, something I learned.
Learned? You
For
think
sure.
everyone can do it?
Do I think everyone on the planet can? Probably not. Like a lot of sales trainers would say yes, because that's what serves them in their market if they want to get more clients.
Yeah.
Like realistically, it'd probably make me more money if I said anyone can become a good salesperson. I think most people can learn, and I wasn't born that way. Most good salespeople aren't born with the gift of the gab. It can be learned, but you've got to have grit. You've got to get past rejection. If you can talk to people, that's a plus, but you can learn that too. A lot of it's life experience as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think most of it can be learned.
So would you say most people can be better than the average then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely better than the average.
Would you say sales is a skill that everyone should learn?
It depends what your goal in life is. If you want to, I think everyone could benefit from it.
Yeah.
Do I think everyone should learn it? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, because it helps in every area outside of business too. Like even with relationships, with friends, family, like everything improves when you get good at
Think
sales.
about it. If you want to go get a job and you need to convince the boss to employ you, it's sales, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right?
100%.
Yeah.
You're dating, you're making a new
Dating,
friend,
of course.
whatever it is, same thing.
It's the same, like it's negotiation and like just persuasion in general, right? How to sell yourself, the best version of yourself to someone. I think it's super important for everyone to learn. You don't need to be like perfect at it.
Yeah, even just the ability to actually listen and pay attention to someone. I was really bad at that when I was younger. I would just talk. And then now, like when I'm talking with my family and I'm actually interested in what they're saying, who knew? They're like, they actually enjoy spending time with me now, which is like, before I would just talk the whole time.
Like Piero. Oh shit. I don't know about this. So, like, how much of sales is skill and how much of it is just energy?
I would say it's probably 60 energy, 40 skill.
60 on energy.
Yeah, because I've had times where I've had all the tactics, I've known everything, but my state was completely off and I dropped the sale because of that. And then there's also guys that don't know any tactics, but they show up in the right intentions, the right state. They want to help the person. They have conviction. They're confident and they'll get the sale. So I think it's actually more energy than skill.
More energy than skill. So, can you give me an example of what you say? Like, the state you're in affects you closing? Can you give me like an example of that?
So one of the main things is your intention. So if your intention is to close this prick versus I'm here to help this person, the I'm going to close this prick, that's a you versus them mentality. That's where you'll see like closers on Instagram have all these rebuttals and these fancy comeback tracks and all this stuff. And it looks cool. It's entertaining. But if you actually want to make more sales and be more persuasive, it's you and the prospect working together.
Yeah.
So your intention leads to that, which is I want to help this person.
Yeah.
So that's the main example.
So when you say it's you versus them, and then the other aspect is you helping them, is there a difference in how you ask questions? Or because at the end of the day, you're still trying to close the deal, even when you're helping them.
Yeah.
And you could argue that by closing the deal, you are helping them.
Yes. But you closing the deal should be a side benefit of you helping them, right? If your whole intention is to close the deal, then you'll miss certain things that they say. You won't pick up on certain things because your intention is off, and people will feel that. You know, if someone gives maybe a slight pushback and then you're like, oh no, I need to close them. Like, yes, you might still close them and they might still be a client and they get great results. That's cool. But if you want to be really good, like go from a 7 to like a 9 or a 10, that's where the intention comes in.
How do you prevent buyer's remorse as a closer?
Ooh, good question. Okay, so there's two main things. One, it has to be their decision to buy. So it's kind of like what we talked about before. Like throughout the whole call, all of your questions should have them realize that they want to get help, they need help now, and they need to work with your program. But they need to say that. It needs to be their idea, because if it's our idea, we're less likely to go back on our own word. If it's my idea and I'm just objection handling you for an hour and I make you do it, and yeah, you pay, you're more likely to get buyer's remorse. That's like the 80-20. And then a little tactic, like a little quick trick you can steal is, let's say you've been objection handling for like 30 minutes and they finally pay and you can tell there was a lot of nerves beforehand. I like to say to them, like, how do you feel? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm nervous but excited. Cool. If you weren't a little bit nervous, like I'd be nervous for you. It's normal. This is different to what you're used to. So I normalize it. And then I'll even like tell them they're going to get buyer's remorse. So I'll say to them, by the way, tomorrow when you want a refund, just know that it's normal. And they'll be like,
oh, that's smart.
They'll be like, what? It's a pattern interrupt. I'm like, yeah, tomorrow you're going to ask me for a refund. And I'm like, why? Because they're like, why would he say this to me? I'm like, well, yeah, it's called buyer's remorse. Have you heard of it? And they're like, no. And then I explain buyer's remorse and how it just goes back to caveman days when we give away resources, right? We want to protect ourselves. We go into survival mode. We start thinking worst case scenario. And then when you prep them for that, and then I say, just text me when you get that feeling. And then they'll text me. They're like, hey, I literally had that. It's like, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good, man. Yeah, that's pretty smart.
So you normalize it.
I never heard anyone say that to me before.
Yeah.
That's something you learned?
Yeah, I learned it from one of my second mentor, Johnny Anton. He's a lot less known. Not many people know about him.
Okay.
But yeah, I learned that from him.
That's pretty okay. So there are three things when I was closing for my own agency, it's B2B, okay?
Yeah.
It's very different from B2C, in my opinion. I don't know whether you agree with me. The questions are obviously all the same, right? The same type of questions. But B2B, I realized they're a bit more logical than emotional. But in your experience, have you sold B2B or B2C?
So B2B gets thrown around a lot. What's your definition of B2B?
So B2B is like, okay, so I help business owners. Let's say they're making some sort of money. So it's a 5K a month, 10K a month, and I take them to 30, 100K a month with an offer and all that stuff. So they already have.
Are you talking to the business owner?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I would treat that very similar to a B2C. The only difference is that those people might, depending how successful they are and how much business they've done, they might be more motivated by pleasure than they are running away from pain. So for example, like someone who's never started a business, they hate their job, they want to quit, they want to get out of it, typical B2C sale, they're typically motivated by pain. They're running away from their job. Someone who's already in business, maybe they're making 10, 20K a month, they want to get to 100K, they're motivated by becoming the guy that makes 100K a month. That would be the main difference. Outside of that, I think when we label like B2B, B2C, sometimes it can limit us. So I would say it's pretty similar, except for that slight difference.
You know, have you closed B2B deals?
Yeah, so I've sold to business owners. I was on an offer where we sold to business owners doing 30K a month was the minimum they had to be doing with their business. And we worked with some guys who were doing $1 million a month, but I was speaking to the business owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the only difference was what you just said, like they're motivated by the dream.
Pretty much. Also, if they're the more and more successful they are, they've usually had more sales calls. So you can still run through your process, but you've got to do it in an authentic way. This is where all the script readers just get absolutely fucked because like the same questions, if you ask them the same generic way to these guys, they're going to be like, hey man, just tell me what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they already know the whole process.
Yeah.
So I've been on a lot of calls for that. And a lot of times they come in and they're like, bro, just tell me what you got and tell me the price.
Yeah.
Right? But depending on the person, I sometimes do that.
Yeah.
So if he fills out the form and he says, bro, I just need what do you got? I want to buy it. Just tell me how much it is. On the form itself, he'll say it. And depending on how the energy is, within 2 minutes, I tell him.
Yeah.
And they actually buy it.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes they just ask because they just want to know the price and then they just want to leave. And I'll be like, hey man, it's a custom plan for every different person. I don't know what you need. I don't even know whether you need my services. And the typical, right? Like pitch. But like, and then also another thing I realized was when I had B2B, some of them, quite a number of them actually, maybe it's my closing problem, but they would say, I need to move the money around because it's like 10, 15K. And a lot of the times I'll be like, okay, there's no close. Maybe there's a way to close them on the call itself. And then they'll be like, I just need to move money around. I'm going to buy it for sure. And then the next day I follow up with them. Hey man, this is the payment link, right? And sure enough, I calculated it. It was 60% they'd still paid.
Yeah.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
Compared to when you go to B2C and most of them just run away, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
It could be a lot of different reasons. It could be how is the lead getting to that call? So for example, like you have really good case studies, right? If they're a referral or they already know some of the people you've worked with, they're a lot warmer, you can probably get away with things like that. What I would do because moving money around, that can be a real objection. Like I don't think a lot of the time they're lying. I would just get a down payment. Do $1,000 now. We onboard you. We get started, and then you just transfer the rest. And then if they have objections to that, it's like, okay, maybe there's something else going on here that we haven't covered.
Yeah, if you can't put $1,000 down, then something is off. Yeah.
But I think the main reason could be how they're coming in, how warm they are, probably the sophistication of those buyers as well. Like generally, they're probably going to be more sophisticated in terms of a buying perspective than a biz op. So the money doesn't like scare them as much if they get sent a link later.
Yeah, I rarely get a price objection, which is weird because it's 10 to 15K. It's usually, is there a guarantee on the return? Yeah. Right? Those are the kind of objections I get. And then I don't know whether you agree with it, but for me, selling was very easy. I had a 60% close rate or 60 to 70, but also because I'm the founder of the company, so it makes sense, right? My offer, I have a very good offer. And to me, if the offer is very good, it's way easier to sell it. And my offer was very done for you. So essentially the guy didn't really have to do anything on his part. I did everything, like the offer, the copy, the VSL, this. So any objection he had, I'd be like, yeah, we do it for you. So it was very easy for me. Do you agree with that? Like the offer itself matters?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Especially if you're offering a done for you service and you're selling to business owners, the offer becomes more and more important. Like the more expensive something gets, the more important the offer is. Think about a jet, right? I can be a great salesperson selling a jet compared to a bad salesperson selling a jet. And I'll probably get more sales than the bad guy. But at the end of the day, like the jet, it's a physical thing that they're buying. Same with a house. Like real estate agents aren't really salespeople. They're more marketers, I would say. Because they're selling the house, they just need to get more eyeballs on it. So, that would be the main difference, I would say.
How do you deal with rejection in sales? Because most people can't, right?
Yeah.
I want to know how you deal with it.
It's just like anything. Like you just got to go through it. Like so, if I have someone that's young that comes into my program and they're just like haven't spoken to people, they don't have much life experience. The first thing I get them on is like a cold outbound offer. And I tell them, like, you're not going to make much money from this. You just need to eat shit for a bit. Like, you literally need to eat shit. And they'll get to it after a week. And then always they'll voice note me. Hey, man, like, I'm having doubts about this offer. I don't know if it's worth it, blah, blah. I go, hey, remember the shit I told you to eat? This is you eating it. Like, you got to go through it. Yeah. That's one way. And also getting rejected in other areas of your life. So I actually just brought on Piero to come in and do coaching sessions for our group for dating because there's a lot of similarities.
Yep.
So I actually tell guys, go cold approach girls. Go get rejected by some hot chicks. That'll build up your rejection muscle, especially as a guy.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, I don't know, whether it's girls or sales call, whatever it is, job rejections, I think as a guy, you have to know how to deal with rejection because it's going to happen. If you're scared of rejection your whole life, you're never going to be anything great, to be honest, right? So let's say the sales, let's say the sales guy comes to you, right? And he says, hey, Orlando, I can't close any calls. So let's say you've been on 10 calls, you can't close none of it. You're getting rejected over and over again. What would be your advice to him? Would it be to like look over what you did that made him reject? Or is it just a numbers game?
Is this someone that's new?
New
to sales. Okay. Out of 10 calls, if they haven't closed any, I would look at what the average is on the team and see like, is that way below average? Because if it is, then it's probably it's probably a skill thing, especially if he's brand new. If he needs help with the rejection mindset to keep going, that might be different to the skill. Let's assume it's that one. Then it's kind of just being Tony Robbins for a little bit, you know, like what's the alternative? Let's say you just give up right now after these 10 calls. What happens then? Yeah, cool. You should, like Hormozy talks about this. If someone gives you a limiting belief, like, oh, I can't do it because of this. Yeah, you can't. Now what? Oh, yeah. Okay. So what do you need to do? Yeah, I need to do it anyway. Cool. Answer's the same.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Do you think like, okay, then would you get to a point where someone comes to you and says rejection, you can't close? Would you ever say you're not meant to be a salesperson?
I've said that to one guy. Yeah, I actually had a student who I removed from the group because the standards were just like too low. And sorry, I'll turn that off. I said, I don't know if sales is for you because, I mean, to be fair, he had some mental issues as well. Like, so it wasn't a full straight thing, but I have had to say that to people.
And what was the reason for it?
It was after 6 months of coaching, I didn't see any significant improvement. Yeah.
Okay. Was it because like that person or any other person was not willing to work on the skill itself, or he just doesn't get it?
Just couldn't get it.
He'd
come to calls and then it would be the same advice over and over and then just didn't make sense, couldn't implement. And it got to a point where I was like, okay, this is bringing everyone else down. Like, I got to get rid of this guy.
Yeah. So you are a closer and also you have a program that coaches salespeople, correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
So are you like a freelance closer or do you work for just one company?
More freelance. Yeah. So it's all contract work. So like it's not a typical employee situation where it's like set hours, set breaks, things like that. It's come in, close calls that are on your calendar. So there's more time freedom, location freedom, things like that. And then with the coaching, that's for guys that either want to get into high ticket sales, they just don't know how, or if they're not making like 10, 15K a month yet, like scale and past there. Those are the two main guys.
Main guys. Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of like your coaching, how do you structure the program to make a person go from beginner or like no experience to an expert?
So if they've never done sales before, the first thing I start with is like philosophy and mindset, not in like a, get pumped up, bro, like not that sort of mindset, but more how do you become the person that's a closer? Because when you're a closer, you're essentially a business owner. So a lot of guys, if they've worked a job before, they're always told what to do. It's a different skill becoming someone that's self-reliant and has to go close their own deals. So I start there. Then from a skill perspective, it's okay. These are all the questions we ask that lead to a sale. Why do we ask this question, this question, this question? What answer do we want? If we don't get the answer, how do we come back and get the answer that we need? That's the most important thing. If someone can nail that and then they show up with good intention, good state, they'll close deals. That's like the 80%.
Yeah. I always come into calls with, I only have 3 things actually. It's the energy that I bring. Like, I'll just be happy in general. I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
So then it's listen and then ask the right questions. So with these 3, I really don't know any like sales skills, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right. The only A book I've read that helped me a lot was The Way of the Wolf. Have you
Yeah.
ever read that one? So the straight line
Yeah.
system. So that's the only one I follow.
Yeah.
It's just asking specific questions to lead to the close.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I know.
Yeah.
Right? And it served me very well, just asking questions. Because the more I ask, the more ammo I have.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's on that's spot on. I disagree with a lot of stuff Jordan Belfort did and says
Yeah,
to
of
do.
course. Yeah.
But his best thing is that straight line.
Mm.
So many times I'll watch a close call where like they go on these tangents, they go here,
Yep.
they talk about this, they talk about that. It's like, bro, just stay on track.
Yeah, stay on track.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the reason why I love asking questions also like the objection handling becomes way easier. It's like, but you said this just a minute ago, right? And then they were like, yeah, I did. And it's like, why change the mind now? And then, right, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So would you say a lot of closing is just asking good questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the whole thing, because we're least persuasive when we tell someone to do something.
Mm-hmm.
We're most persuasive when we have someone realize what they should do.
Yeah.
If your mum says to you, hey, go do the dishes, son, there's resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And we get taught that from a young age, to have resistance when people tell us to do something. But if she asks you questions, she's like, hey, how's the kitchen looking? Oh, yeah, it's pretty dirty. Oh, I mean, do you like it when it's dirty? No. Why not though?
Yeah,
Because I feel like a slob. Okay, so what should you do?
Have you seen those reels like your best friend is a salesperson
Yeah.
and then like they try to sell everything to them?
Yeah.
That's fucking
I
fun.
need to do more of that too.
That's fucking because now that I know what he's doing, I'm like, that's fucking annoying now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But to a person that doesn't know, I do it to my friends, bro. When I
Yeah.
want to persuade them to do something when we're overseas.
Yeah.
Like I really want to go to this place. I'll start like, why don't you want to go here?
Yeah.
Like, didn't you come here for a reason? Like to travel and look around?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It is funny because you're like, so I used to struggle with that because I'd be talking with my ex-girlfriend and she'd be like, stop selling me.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, like, how do I do it without her knowing? And then I started selling to salespeople, and salespeople know what you're doing too while you're doing it. So then I learned this thing where I just had to break the fourth wall and I just tell people what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So like I had a guy, he's like, yeah, I know you're going to sell me. I'm like, yeah, I am going to sell you, but why do you think I'm going to sell you? And then I just like tell them why I'm doing it. And then it breaks the fourth wall and it's more authentic because they know you're asking questions for that reason. You know it. And then it's just an authentic conversation.
Yeah. That's pretty, yeah. To people who are aware, is it very different? Do you think, like when you're selling to salespeople, when you say like, okay, why am I selling it to you, right, in the first place? Does it just flow from there the same way?
So you've got to, when you ask the questions, it's got to sound less scripted. So what I mean is let's say you ask a why now question. You know, what's making now the time to do this, Mr. Prospect? Why not 6 months or 12 months from now? That's one way you can ask it. But I could ask that on any offer.
Yeah.
So that's a red flag. So you want to ask every question that's so contextualized, it can only be asked to that person.
Okay.
So Dan, like you've been thinking about doing something with the business for the last 6 months, leads have plateaued for the last 3. Like what's causing you to look at getting help with XYZ like now though?
Yeah.
So that's so much more tailored. So even if you know why I'm asking it, it makes sense based off the context that you told me.
Yeah, it feels personalized at that point.
Exactly.
Okay. Sales script or no sales script?
For 80% of people, script.
Script.
Yeah. There's a trend of like scriptless selling,
Yeah.
of like just show up and have a conversation. If you're new to sales or you're not very good at sales, which is actually more than people realize, then just follow the script. Now, I'm not saying you have to stick to every single word, but at least a structure and a framework. And yeah, the call will sometimes jump here or jump there and then you got to backtrack. But overall, like a script and a process is there for a reason.
Yeah.
Even I don't look at my script, but I still sell based off my structure.
Same.
And I keep it within those walls.
Yeah, it's to prevent you from going a tangent.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
It's like when you're bowling. You know, if ideally, if you, like, ego aside, if you want to get a 10, you're going to put barriers up.
Yeah.
Because then it'll just, like, keep it in.
Yeah, keep it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Have you seen a difference with, actually there is a difference, but I'm going to ask you, like, what's the difference between inbound and outbound selling?
Very different. So outbound, you don't have as much leverage because you're approaching them. So there needs to be a switch at some point where it's, hey, I'm contacting you, to then it's about their problems, then they need help with that. It's kind of like in dating, right? Like if you get an inbound lead, you know, from a referral.
I love inbound leads.
Yeah, like, oh, I have a friend. Like, you should go on a date with her. Like, that's so much easier than cold approaching a girl where you have no leverage and you've come up to her. It's the same thing in sales.
Yeah.
It's just less leverage.
Okay, so I have a friend. He's like insurance. So he cold calls people.
Okay.
And then he sets like real life appointments.
Yeah.
And he asked me for advice, right? I could tell him like in-person closing. But when it comes to this, I'm not sure how it goes. Like, how would you handle it if you're just cold calling people for like life insurance or something?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just be honest. Like, cold calling isn't my specialty.
Okay.
Like, I did a bit of cold calling, but I would never say I'm amazing at it.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't even give advice to it.
Okay.
If he's a complete beginner, I can give him some advice on tonality and maybe how he starts the call, you know. But I'm not an expert. I wouldn't say that's my expertise.
Okay, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I just want to see your opinion on it. Because like, hey, I'm calling because of the XYZ. Is that how you fucking...
I mean, if I was to do it, like, I would start off with curiosity, you know, so it depends. So if you're selling life insurance, okay, selling life insurance, and has the person opted in? Like, do they know the company, or it's just a complete stranger off a book?
Off a book.
Okay, so then it would be like, hey, Dan. Like, so I'd use familiar tone. Hey, Dan. Like, hey, Dan, it's Orlando. This might not be relevant for you, but what happened? Yeah, honestly, bro, like, I'm trying to think, like, maybe, you know, do you have life insurance or that's too much about the product. Yeah. I'm going to cop out on this one, bro. Like, cold calling's not my specialty.
Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to ask because I've never done cold calls.
Yeah.
Never. It's all inbound.
I've done outbound, but the lead has opted in for something. You know,
okay, so they gave him their
lead
phone number and then you call them. Okay, let's see how that looks like.
So then it would be like, hey, Dan, it's just Orlando. I saw you downloaded XYZ.
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell? Oh, yeah, that was like a month ago. Yeah, cool. What sparked your interest in that? Oh, like I'm just looking
I'm just looking around.
Yeah, no stress at all. We've got a bunch of different free resources I can send your way, just so I know like what's best to send out to you. Like, what was it about that resource in particular that stood out to you?
Oh, so I just wanted more leads for my business, and I saw you had a free guide to show me that, and I just wanted to have a look.
Yeah, awesome. How'd you find it?
To be honest, I only read like half of it.
Okay, yeah, no stress. What type of business do you run at the moment?
I have a marketing agency.
Okay, how long have you been running that for?
About 3 years.
Okay. And you're not getting like as many leads as you'd like to at the moment?
Yeah, the leads just dried up for the last 3 months. I'm trying to figure out why. I don't know why, but I saw that your company, specializes in getting leads.
Yeah, we might be able to help. Like, what when you say it's dried up compared to what? Like, how was it before the last 3 months?
So I used to get like 50 leads a day. Now it's like 10, 12 because the algorithms and the ad platform, they changed and become so expensive.
Right.
And I can't afford it anymore.
Okay. Can I be a bit cheeky with you?
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's anyone else who runs ads with those algorithm changes that are still making it work?
Yeah, probably.
What's the difference with you and them?
Maybe they have more money than me.
Or aside from the money they put in, like, because they wouldn't put money into something that's just a leaky bottle, right? Like, what else do you feel might be the difference?
Maybe they have a better offer, maybe.
Yeah, but how do people find out about the offer?
The traffic.
And how do they get traffic?
Via ads.
Yeah. So what do you feel like is different about their ads compared to yours?
Maybe they are more compelling than mine.
Ah, right. So what about your ads do you feel aren't as compelling?
Yeah, well, it used to work, so I thought it was compelling, but apparently it's not compelling anymore.
Yeah. Well, what do you think caused that?
I don't know. It was the same ad that I run for many years, right?
Yeah. So I guess like moving forward with these changes, like what's your strategy to like make sure you still get leads coming in?
Well, I have to have it's either I completely have a new ad strategy, which I saw that you guys did for me.
Yeah.
And then, or I just go completely like organic and don't spend any money.
Yeah. I mean, you could do organic. Like, why not just do that?
Because it's very slow and I hate it.
Right. Okay. And in terms of ads, like, us aside for a second, like, why even potentially get help with that? Why not try and just figure it out on your own?
This exact same question I ask people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, what is the question again?
Yeah. Why even potentially look at getting help with it? Why not just do it on your own?
Yeah, because doing it on my own would take far too long.
What makes you say that?
Because I've tried it before and it's not working for the last few months.
Right. Okay. So like time to make a change possibly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I value time the most, to be honest.
Okay, cool. I mean, we might be able to help. Today's just a bit of a quick call. What I can do though is I can send you over a video that'll give you more context on what we do and how we might be able to help. And then after that, and then boom, I'd pitch the close call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you pitch the close call, and then he would book a call with the closer.
Yeah.
Correct.
Or myself if I'm self-closing, if I'm self-setting.
Yeah.
Depends. Yeah.
Would you sell on that outbound itself or no?
I've seen
Depends.
people do it. Yeah, like it can be done.
Yeah.
It's just harder because it's like it's out of the blue.
Yeah.
But it can be done. Like one of my students, Anton and Luke, like they're both doing that at the moment. They've just been outbound closing.
Really?
And like, is it as effective as an inbound close call? No. But sometimes you got to do it.
But you have more volume, I guess, right? You can call a lot more people.
Well, the more offers you make, the more you will sell. Like, period.
You've closed 6 million in sales, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a certain close that you're extremely proud of?
Probably, yeah. So there was this guy on a men's health offer I sold who made like a ton of money, like millions of dollars a year. But he was addicted to cocaine and his marriage was falling apart. And his personal life was like kind of fucked. And yeah, I wasn't even that good at sales at the time. That was like one of my older roles. But I got him in, and I remember finishing that call because it was a 15K offer. I remember it was the most I'd sold at that point. So I was proud of that. But also I was like, damn, like this guy actually seems like inspired. So that was probably the coolest
Okay,
one.
that's good. So there's an emotional attachment to it.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah. And then I heard later he was doing better and doing well. I was like, okay, that's
He
it.
changed his life.
Yeah.
It changed his life.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have fucking 15 minutes, bro. So I have like a rapid fire question.
Okay.
You can choose to explain or don't explain. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Very easy. Oh, can I have some?
Yeah. Dry mouth.
Thanks. Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Hardest objection to handle?
Partner.
The wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Jordan Belfort or Grant Cardone?
Belfort.
Okay. Hard close or soft close?
It depends on the offer. I would lean towards soft.
Soft? Okay. Most underrated skill in sales?
Congruency.
Currency? Okay. Australia or Dubai?
Australia.
Australia? Book smart or street smart?
Street smart.
Could you sell ice to an Eskimo?
Probably not.
Same. Script or freestyle?
Script.
How important is a setter?
Very. More important than people realize.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because they set the tone or make sure they show up?
It's the first interaction that they have with the sales team. Like it's the front point of contact besides marketing. And without setters, the closers will have a lot less calls to close. So setters are very underrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is bad leads a valid excuse as a closer?
Most times it's not, but it can be.
Can be? Because I get that a lot. Like with the companies I work with,
Yeah.
you get like, what's sales are shit today? Bad leads. That's the first thing they fucking say.
So that's the thing. It's like also, I wouldn't look at it as a daily thing, right? It's like over the month, if 1 month was great and the next month it's not, and like, yeah, bad leads. It's like, okay, well, the last month was great. So what else changed? And also, is it just one guy saying it's bad leads or is it the whole sales team? So that can give you indications as well. And worst case, I would just jump on, start taking calls. Like if I was a sales manager, I did this when I was sales managing. And I was like, oh yeah, lead flow's down. Okay, let me jump on some calls. Let me get on the front lines and see what's actually happening. It's like if you're a army general and they're like, you know, they've got men everywhere. Like, and you're looking at the maps and there's not that many. Maybe just fucking go down there and see for yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, true. Yeah. Sales, a sales manager's job, right? Would you say the most important thing is motivating the sales team? Or is it actually looking back and reviewing the calls they did?
Actually, it's actually neither as a manager. I would say it's more data. Yeah, it's more looking at numbers, which I learned. So I did 10 months of sales management, and I'm really happy I did. But my favorite part was the motivating, the personal aspect with the people, managing the team and training and reviewing calls. That was my favorite part. But I realized the most important part was actually looking at the data, which I fucking hate. So
I love looking at that.
Yeah, that's when I was like, okay, this maybe isn't for me. I prefer training.
Got it.
But
Okay.
yeah, probably data is most
So
important.
data is in like the closing rate and all that, or number of leads and all this stuff? Or?
Yeah, number of leads coming through, how
Mhm.
many are booking a call,
Oh,
how many
okay.
are showing up, how many are closing. Most people leave it at that. Okay, if they're closing, what's the average cash per sale? Like, for example, if the program's 8K, but the average cash per sale is 1,000, that's quite a low cash collection.
Yes.
Yeah, the revenue looks really high, but the cash collected's
Yeah.
shit. How many leads are, how many follow-up sales are you getting? If they're not closing on the first call, how many close after? Like, all of that shit, which I
Okay.
hate looking at.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 2 more questions.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you the question that Ty Lopez asked me.
Okay.
Okay, so if you had a dice, okay, just one, so 1 through 6, if it lands on 1, okay, sorry, if it lands on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you lose everything you have now, all your money. You go to 0 net worth.
Mm-hmm.
But if it lands on 1, you get $1 billion. Would you roll?
Would I roll?
Mm-hmm.
No.
You wouldn't roll.
No.
You wouldn't risk everything you have right now.
No.
Okay, so let's say you did roll, and you got the $1 billion,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you roll again?
Oh. No.
You
No.
don't want the risk of 2 billion?
Okay, so this is why. This is gonna sound like a cop out, and most people won't believe me, but fuck them, I don't care. It's kind of like Monopoly, right? Let's say you're playing Monopoly, and at the start of the game, you have 10 or 100x the amount of money as the other person,
Yeah.
and so you destroy them and you win. Then what? Like, part of what makes life so meaningful is the chase and the journey.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I just got that billion, that takes away so much potential fulfillment I could have had. Like, I'm sure for you as well, the first 10K you made, the first 20K, the first 50K, like those milestones makes it so cool when you look back. If I just jumped to $1 billion, like, I'd probably be depressed, man.
Really?
Yeah, like, it would just take away so much. I would figure it out, but it would be a massive shift.
Okay, let's test that then.
Yeah.
Okay, let's test it.
Yeah.
So let's say now, if
Yeah.
it lands on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
you get $1 billion.
Yeah.
But lands on 1, you lose your net worth.
Would I roll? Yeah, no. No, I wouldn't.
Okay, I will roll, man.
No, because I would rather the journey that I'm on right now.
Yeah.
Again, most people won't believe me, but like I said, if I had $1 billion today, it would yes, it would be cool. Oh, sweet, I can buy anything I want. But then let's say, right, I buy a private jet or I buy a fucking supercar or whatever, I wouldn't have earned it.
But you're thinking of it as like an individual level. What can the $1 billion do for your family and your future generations?
That's true. It's probably a bit selfish when you think of it that way.
Yeah, so Ty, that was his argument, right?
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
So $1 billion could do a lot. Yeah.
That
You
is a
could
very good point.
You could give it away.
That's true. See, then, okay, this is getting deep. This is cool, actually. Because then it's like, okay, do I trust myself to give it away? Because once I had the $1 billion, would I give it away? Probably fucking no. I'd probably buy a few nice things.
Yeah.
I'd probably do, yeah, that's really interesting question.
Yeah. I have loads of questions like Ty asked, but that one I like to give to people.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Okay, man. Last question. What is one advice you would give to a young and upcoming salesperson?
Focus on mastery. Like, really just master one thing. Master sales. Get so good at it. And then you can learn other things down the track. But so many guys, when they start off, they want to post content as well. They want to learn marketing. Oh, they want to start this AI agency. Like, if you got no skills, just focus on one skill. Get really good at that and then diversify. If it's sales, cool. If it's marketing, cool. If it's, AI, sweet. Just pick one and just go all in on it.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how much you can achieve.
Awesome, man. I think we leave it as that. Thank you so much for being on the pod.
Thanks, bro.
Awesome.